Hi, I'm Josh Mermelstein, and I'm going to be telling you a little bit about site swap. Site swap is a mathematical notation for juggling, which is both interesting and useful in certain situations. So let's talk about what it is and what it means. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a throw and we're going to count how many things happen before it's caught. So for example, I'm going through the black ball, we're going to go 1, 2, and we catch the black ball again. So between the black ball's throw and catch, there were an additional 2 throws, meaning we can term that throw a 3. A 3 is a throw under which 2 things happen. Regardless of how high the throw goes, arguably this is a 3, as well as all of these and all of these. What about something else? For example, a 4. A 4 is a throw that goes straight up, as if you were juggling 4 balls, for example. So, a 4-ball cascade, or a 4-ball fountain, we'll call it, looks like this, and is composed entirely of 4s. However, this trick as well is composed entirely of 4s, as is this. So what happens if we try to do a throw, which is not a 3, in a 3-ball pattern? So the pattern I'm about to tell you about is called a 4-4-1, and it looks a little bit like this. 4-4-1, 4-4-1, 4-4-1, 4-4-1, 4-4-1, 4-4-1. And it's an interesting pattern for a number of reasons. First of all, because it demonstrates a fact about site swap, which is if you take the length of a pattern, and you add up all the numbers in a pattern, divide the sum of the numbers by the length of the pattern, you get the number of balls you're juggling. So as I said, a 4-4-1, which I was just juggling, is a 3-ball pattern, as you can see. Similarly, the pattern I'm about to juggle, a 5-5-2, is a 4-ball pattern. So, why do we care? Well, site swap was originally useful because you could use site swap to tell someone about your pattern on a really extremely slow internet. It took a long time to upload a video, there was no YouTube. But now that we have that, is site swap still valuable? Well, sure it is. First of all, site swap can tell you about the similarity between tricks. Because site swap only records the way in which the balls are thrown and the order in which they're caught, it doesn't really care about the motion of your hands. So a 4-2-3, for example, this trick is exactly the same as this trick, which is also a 4-2-3, which is exactly the same as this trick, takeouts, which is also a 4-2-3. But again, is that really an important piece of information to know? And the answer is, of course it is, because we can use this information to chart out transitions. So if you juggle, say, a 3-ball shower, a 5-1 in site swap, you can do something like talk about the beat of dropping a 3-ball shower, and it goes bump, bump, pause, bump. So again, clap, clap, pause, clap. And let's talk about another trick, which would be a 3-ball cascade, in which the pattern of dropping would be beat, beat, clap, clap, clap. So what's the difference between these 2 tricks? Is that pause. So say I'm in the process of doing a 3-ball shower. I'm switching off. My right hand is throwing 5s, and my left hand is throwing 1s. And my goal is to be in a 3-ball shower, a 3. How can I do that? So, according to site swap, all I have to do is do a throw other than one of the ones I'm doing, which causes that pause to go away. And what causes a pause to disappear? Well, pausing, in fact. So if I simply pause with my left hand, then I can let a 3-ball shower occur. So instead of throwing a 1, I just wait. Similarly, say I'm doing a 4-ball fountain, and I want to be doing a 4-ball shower. So back up. How do I transition? And if you do a little bit of looking at the beat structure, you can tell the answer is you do the following pattern. A 5 from your left hand, a 7 from your right hand, a 2 from your left hand, and a 7 from your right hand, which should look a little bit like this. And then you're in the beat structure for a 4-ball cascade, for a 4-ball shower rather, which is a 7-1, which means you can go right into a 7-1, a 4-ball shower. So what's absolutely fantastic about this is you can actually draw out lots of possible beat structures. And you can take those beat structures and draw lines between them and say, oh, you can get from a 4-ball cascade to a 4-ball shower by this path, and you can get from a 4-ball cascade to a 4-ball something this way. And using all that information, you can work out different ways, a giant graph, so to speak, of where you can get from where you are and by what mechanism, which means you can say like, oh, check this out. An easy way to transition from a 4-ball cascade to a 4-ball shower is through a 5-5-2, which is a trick I mentioned earlier. And on a final note, let's talk about the limitations of side swap. So again, side swap only cares about the order of the throws and the catches. It doesn't, unfortunately, capture all of the interest of juggling. So as I mentioned earlier, two tricks that are mathematically the same are a 4-2-3, which is interesting and simple, but not exciting, and takeouts, which are one of my personal favorite tricks, and are extremely exciting to watch. Similarly, this trick, a 3-ball cascade, according to side swap, is no different than this trick, a 3-ball reverse cascade, as you might expect, but is also no different than this trick, which is a 3-ball nose mess. And that's disappointing, which is why side swap can never fully capture juggling. It's an almost perfect way of describing something that is extremely complicated in a rather simple way, which allows you to tell someone about it rather clearly, and can often make learning tricks easier. It can help you realize that to do a trick, you just have to do something similar in a slightly different time, or do something in a time you're already doing, but with a slightly different throw cadence. And overall, side swap is of extreme value to the juggling community because it shows you what you can do, and it shows you how to make something simpler or harder. So, for example, say someone said, Josh, can you juggle a 7-4? The answer is strictly no. There's no such trick as 7-4. However, if they said, oh Josh, I see you juggling a 4-4-1. Can you juggle a 4-4-1-3? And side swaps is resoundingly yes. Yes, you can, and it looks a little bit like this. So we can use side swap to both make tricks harder and make tricks easier. Say you're having trouble learning a 5-3-1, which is admittedly a somewhat difficult 3-ball trick. You could say, well, what can I take out to make this trick easier? Well, a 5-3-1 is like a 5-0-1 with an extra ball, so we can just drop a ball and simply do a 5-0-1, which looks a little bit like that. So side swap can be a great tool for learning, but also a great tool for exploration,